Shalom, welcome back to Sweet and Good Torah. This is Levi Shore. So it is Rosh Chodesh Iyar. It's the first of the month of Iyar. Iyar is a very special month. It means Ani Hashem Rofecha. I am Hashem, your healer. So Iyar is a month of healing. It's a very special month. It's in between Pesach, Passover, and Shavuot. And we're in a special time of the year called Sefirat HaOmer. So we count 49 days from the night of the second Seder, from the second day of Pesach, the second night of Pesach, of Passover. We start to count 49 days, and we count 7 weeks. So we count 7 perfect weeks, and we count the days and the weeks. And then each week has a certain middot. There's the 7 lower Sefiros, which are called the middot, which are the emotions. And then a person controlling these middot and developing these middot can become a better person. You have better control over your emotions and how you use your emotions and all those wonderful things. So the first week was the week of hesed, the week of kindness. And then we work on 7 different aspects of kindness. So the 7 other spheros we work on and develop a full array of kindness. So it's interesting. So the Torah is said to begin and end with kindness. So when we look for how do we know what true chesed is, true kindness, we look first to Hashem. We say Hashem is the ultimate in kindness. So the Torah begins with chesed because first, even the act of all of creation itself, all of Ma'aseh Bereshis itself, is a huge kindness of creating all these creatures and all these people to live in this creation. So that's the ultimate kindness that Hashem did. And then we say Hashem made clothes for Adam and Chava, for Adam and Eve. He made them clothes when they ate, after they ate from the Eitz Das Torah. After they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they realized that they were bare, and Hashem made for them clothes. That's the first act of chesed, kindness that Hashem did. And then at the end of the Torah, we see that Hashem personally buries Moshe. Hashem buries Moses, and no one knows where Moshe's kever is, where he's buried. And that was a very special act of kindness that Hashem did for Moshe. So we see that Hashem is the ultimate in kindness, but who can we look to in this world? And we look to Avraham Avinu. We look to Abraham to see, well, how do we do kindness? And we see that Abraham's whole life was kindness. He had a tent that was open on 4 sides, and he wanted to bring in guests from all these travelers, and he wanted to teach them about Hashem and Hashem's world and the Torah and the mitzvahs and that we should have appreciation. So it's very interesting. So the first step to receiving the Torah is learning how to give to others. The first thing that we must do is we must get out of ourselves and think about others in order to receive the Torah. So we must do chesed, we must do kindness. Now the next week is gevurah, which is strength or restraint or justice. So once again, Hashem is the gibor. So in Pirkei Avos it says Eze gibor, who's strong? Who is a strong person? Ben Zoma asks, who is strong? So a lot of people will think a strong person is this great athlete that can do all these feats, of athletic strength, or a strong person is a great warrior that can conquer cities. But we see in the Torah says that a strong person is someone that can restrain their own Yetzer Hara, that can stop themselves from doing anything that's wrong. And that is a real gibor. That's a real warrior. That's someone who's really strong. Someone who can control themselves. That is someone who's strong. So in this world, obviously Hashem is the ultimate gibor. Hashem on the second day of Ma'aseh Bereshis, he separated between the upper waters of Shemayim, of heaven, and the lower waters down here on earth. And he created a gevurah. He created a boundary. He created division between the oceans and the land, and he created a division between water and dry land. And he created a framework. Gevurah creates a framework for hesed to go in, for kindness to go into. So it's interesting. The first step to receiving the Torah is So we got to get out of ourselves, and we have to be kind to others. And then the next step is interesting. We have to come back into ourselves, and we have to restrain ourselves from doing, what is wrong. And this improves the hesed. And we go through, once again, the 7 aspects of the gevurah. And this improves our kindness even, because then we're truly kind where we're supposed to be. And we're strong where we're supposed to be. And this leads into the 3rd week. So this is the 2nd day now of the 3rd week. And now we're in the week of Tifferet, of beauty, of harmony, and it's a week of truth. So now we're going to try to balance these two things. We're going to try to balance like the hesed, constantly doing kindness for others, and then this balance of restraining ourselves and strengthening ourselves to do what's right. And if we find this perfect balance, we reach this level of Tifferet. And on the 3rd day of Ma'aseh Bereshis, like Hashem created the plants and the herbs. And we see that, the plants are balanced. Like Rabbi Yaakov Haber, he says in this book, an excellent book, by the way, on the Sefiros. There. Highly recommend it. It gives you something to work on every day. And he says, like, right, a plant is this beautiful Tifferet. Like, if you look at a flower, like a flower has that gevurah because it restrains itself. It can't move. It only can grow in that one area. Can't move all around. But yet, it has this kindness, because it could produce a beautiful smell, or a tree could produce a beautiful fruits that, people can eat. So it can produce something, and so it can give to others. And then it's beautiful. It becomes like, you can see like a flower. Like it has this beauty. It has this Tifferet to it. So the balance of the chesed and the gevurah. So it's interesting. So Hashem is the ultimate, in this quality of emes, of truth. But in this world, we look to, so I don't know if I mentioned, but so gevurah was Yitzhak Avinu. So it's chesed's Avraham Avinu, Abraham. And gevurah's strength is Yitzhak Avinu. We saw in the Akedah, like he was actually 37. He wasn't a young boy. When he was willing to give his life, when his father was going to offer him, he was 37. He was someone who could have overpowered his father, but he restrained himself to do this Akedah. And then in the 3rd is Yaakov Avinu, so Jacob. And Yaakov is also called Yisrael. It's called Israel. And Yaakov is the embodiment of the Jewish people. And we see like what the Jewish people are supposed to become. And we're supposed to be a people of truth, a people of Tifferet, a people of beauty. And we get there by working on this 3rd week of balancing kindness and strength, and in dealing with others and ourselves, and this balance. And that balance produces this beauty and this truth. And that's the mission of the Jewish people, that we should become, like the Torah calls us this, like we're a vineyard. We're Hashem's vineyard. And we're the Shoshanim, we're the beautiful roses, the rose lilies of Hashem. So we're described by Hashem as these flowers. And we see if we restrain ourselves and we have this kindness, and eventually we're going to give off this beautiful aroma and this beautiful wine, to the world. And we're going to bring simcha, we're going to bring this happiness when we fully integrate the Torah in ourselves, and that spreads out to the nations. It will happen. It seems incredible right now, but it's going to happen. And we will see a world where instead of the Jewish people and all this anti-Semitism and like, oh, those guys, that the world will see us when we finally become this holy nation and this kind nation and this strong nation that does what's right, and this beautiful nation of truth. So enjoy the Sefirat HaOmer. B'ezrat Hashem, we can talk more about the healing properties in the month of Iyar and on to Shavuot. So shalom. Have a great week.